In my opinion, subscription game services, it needs to go away. It's pretty much getting on my last nerves. I'm going to keep my Steam account. I don't think it's amazing. There is some conveniences to it, but to me, there's many more inconveniences. And I was recently given an Xbox and I fixed it. And it's, man, is it ever similar to Steam, where it's just everything is connected online. It always has to be online. But let's talk about it. So recently I beat these two games right here. Pop the games in, no internet connection, they just work. Just the way I like my gaming. After I beat those two games, I thought to myself, let's play some Steam. Let's see what's on my Steam backlog from last year's winter sale. And I had this game, I Am Setsuna, and there's a couple others. There's like 3 or 4 other games that I still have to beat that I got for super cheap. And that's the great thing, how cheap these games are. But the problem was, I couldn't get into my Steam account. I hadn't played it for a while, so I log in. I totally had the correct username, totally had the correct password, but it wanted like this 2FA, which it was slightly different. I'm sure you could have it set up to your cell phone, but mine was set up to just go to my email. And so it sent some password to my email, which I don't know why, because my username, and it's from the same house. If they know where you are, why does it matter why I need this second password? So they sent something to my Gmail. I go to look at my Gmail and my Gmail doesn't work. I said, what the heck's going on? So I wasted time looking into that. And funny story behind that, I hadn't updated my cell phone because my Android keeps, every time it updates, it breaks a specific program I need. It broke it 3 times. So I was like, I'm not updating anymore. So I guess Google had removed my services or like halted them until I run the update. So I was like, forget it. I'll go onto my computer, log into my Gmail, get the Steam password. So then I go to send the Steam password through and they're like, nope, invalid, expired time or something. I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So I resent it, got it in. I'm into Steam. So I'm just super irked by that. So somebody gave me this Xbox down here, said it didn't work. I could have it if I could get it working. Well, obviously, I've dealt with this before, but just the way everything's always online, and I'd already known about the new Xboxes and how they just post a black screen unless you do the update or you have an internet connection. So sure enough, I held down that power button for 20 seconds. As soon as it went in, it posted some error, and I say, oh, I know what it wants. So I signed into the internet, and sure enough, what did it need? An update, because they halt all the features, and that's all it needed. And I gave it an update, and I was like, oh, I still have some old Xbox games, even though I don't own the system. And this is a cool feature, like being able to play these old Xbox games. But even that, like the amount of hoops I had to jump through to get this thing going. So to get this Xbox going, to play that game, I had to connect to my Wi-Fi, which totally understandable. But then I had to jump through 3 pages, like 3 separate agreements of, we're not going to steal your data's safe with us. Oh, we also want your phone number. I wouldn't give them my phone number, so I gave them an alternate email. I also had to create a Microsoft email just to use this, which I didn't have a Microsoft email. It took me like so long to get this going. I was like, man, this is crazy just to play a game. And I'm just like, man, the state of gaming, of just always online, always taking your data. Even the Epic Store is guilty of this. I had Tony Hawk's for the Epic Store, and for some reason, it, like after 2 months of owning the game, it didn't like my router, which I thought was really weird. I didn't know this at the time, but then the game stopped working and I could not log in. I kept contacting their customer service. I asked for a refund. They wouldn't give me a refund. And I just, by fluke, I was like, I'm just going to go out and buy a new router, see if that fixes it. And I only cared about Tony Hawk's for the single player experience. Like, I didn't play it online, and because it was always online, always internet connected, I could not play the game. And I believe Steam is like that, but it's like 30 days. Like, you can as I've ran this test, I haven't done it for 30 days, but I've tried to play games offline and it does work. Epic does too, but I think Epic, you can only do it for like a less amount of time, unless that's changed recently. But yeah, funny story, I got so annoyed with the Tony Hawk's, I just went out and bought it and I tested it out, and that version works offline with no issues as far as I can tell. But yeah, I'm just super annoyed with the state of gaming, and I was going through my backlog. I'm going to be playing all those games after. Pretty sure all those games can be played offline with no internet connection. But yeah, man, the state of games and always online. What are the solutions? Well, the solutions are to do research and to try to buy games that are always offline and the entire game is on the disc, because I know that's getting harder and harder to find. You have to put the research in, make sure the entire game is off the disc, and hopefully it works. And there's also another website called GOG Games where you can actually just download a digital copy and unplug the internet once you have the game, and then you have a game that works offline. I think once I wipe out my remaining backlog from Steam, I'm going to start using GOG Games more. And I got so many old games to play. I got my modded Wiis, I got my Switch, which I never connect my Switch online, by the way. And I just always play all my Switch games offline. Or you can get these cool systems too, like this, where all the games are offline. That's just my story with always online gaming. It's just getting to the point of like super irritation. I don't know why they need all this information or why you always have to be connected online. It's just very strange to me. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Have a good day.